I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I've treated more than 11,000 seniors in my career, and I can tell you something that almost nobody in medicine is willing to say out loud. The single most dangerous place in your home is not the stairs, not the bathtub, not the icy driveway. It's the floor. Not because you might fall onto it, but because once you're down there, millions of people over 70 can no longer get back up. For decades, you've been told the answer is simple. Avoid the floor. Don't kneel. Don't sit down there. Stay in your chair where it's safe. Family members repeat it. Even some doctors repeat it. And it is one of the most destructive pieces of advice ever given to older adults. Here's why. Avoiding the floor doesn't protect you. It slowly deletes the exact strength, mobility, and confidence you need to survive on it. And there's an entire industry that profits from your fear. Medical alert buttons, lift chairs, emergency pendants, a multi-billion-dollar market built on one assumption, that after 70, you and the ground can never be friends again. The research says the opposite. A study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology followed 2,002 adults between the ages of 51 and 80 for over 6 years. Each participant was asked to do one thing: sit down on the floor and stand back up, while researchers scored how easily they did it. The results stopped the medical world in its tracks. Those who struggled to get up from the floor were 5 to 6 times more likely to die within the following 6 years than those who rose easily. 5 to 6 times, from one simple movement. Not cholesterol, not blood pressure, not weight, the floor test. But here is the part that should give you enormous hope. In follow-up research, seniors who practice specific, gentle floor-rising techniques improved their scores by an average of 47% in just 8 weeks. No surgery, no expensive therapy, no equipment. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 techniques that orthopedic surgeons and physical therapists consider the most powerful ever developed for getting off the floor safely, without forcing your bare knees into the ground, without calling for help, and without pain. We'll count down from number 5 to number 1. And stay with me, because number 1 is the technique a 2022 Cleveland Clinic trial tested on 314 adults aged 70 to 88. After 6 weeks, their floor rising time dropped by 58%, their pain dropped by 64%, and their confidence jumped by 71%. One 82-year-old woman in that trial hadn't touched the floor in 12 years. 5 weeks in, she sat down on the carpet to play with her 2-year-old great-grandson. Her family wept. Before we dive in, a quick question. Where are you watching from, and how long has it been since you last sat on the floor? Confident you could get back up? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one tonight. Now let's begin with number 5. Number 5, the hand press method. Most people think getting up from the floor is a leg problem. It isn't. It's a distribution problem. When you try to stand using only your legs, you dump enormous force through your knees, hips, and lower spine all at once. And that is exactly where the pain and the fear come from. The hand press method changes the equation. Sitting on the floor with your knees bent and feet flat, you lean slightly to one side, place both palms flat on the floor beside your hip with fingers spread wide, and press firmly down through the heels of your hands. Your shoulders and arms lift your hips, one foot slides underneath you, and your legs only have to finish the job, not do all of it. A 2021 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity tested this on 412 adults over 70 who struggled to rise from the floor. Those who learned to press through their arms cut their rising time by 33%, reported 41% less knee pain during the movement, and lowered their fall risk during the transition by 28%. Researchers at the University of Toronto found that practicing it just 3 times a week for 4 weeks raised floor-rising confidence by 36%. Eleanor, a 76-year-old retired librarian, told her doctor she'd stopped getting down to reach her lower kitchen cabinets years ago. 2 weeks of practicing the hand press near her sofa, and she was reorganizing them herself. Always practice near a sturdy chair or wall, move slowly, and focus on smooth control, never speed. But before we continue, if this video is helping you so far, hit the like button and subscribe, and tap the bell, because more seniors need to see this, and you don't want to miss what's coming. Number 4. The side sit transition. Here's what most seniors do instinctively when they're on the floor. They try to push straight up from a cross-legged or wide-legged position. That single habit creates twisting forces through the knees, hips, and lower back. And it's the reason so many people feel a sharp stab of pain and simply give up. The side sit transition eliminates those forces before you ever try to stand. From sitting, you roll your weight gently onto one hip and let both knees fold to the same side, like a mermaid in an old painting. Both shins rest on the floor, stacked. From there, your hand presses into the floor beside your hip, and your body rises in perfect alignment instead of fighting itself. A study from the University of Sydney followed 538 adults over 70 with chronic floor-rising difficulty for 6 months. Those who mastered this one transition reduced knee pain during floor rises by 39%, improved hip mobility by 27%, and cut their rising time by 31%. Just as important, they reported a 44% increase in their willingness to get down on the floor at all, which means playing with grandchildren, gardening, stretching, living. Practice it on both sides, not just your favorite. Cleveland Clinic researchers found two-sided practice reduced hip stiffness by an additional 22%. Breathe steadily the whole time, and if you have severe hip arthritis or a recent hip replacement, talk to your doctor first. Number 3, the furniture-assisted lift. Now, please don't skip this one out of pride, because this is where I have to correct another myth. Using furniture to get up is not cheating, and it is not weakness. In every study we have, the most resilient seniors are not the ones who refuse support. They're the ones who use it intelligently. Using a sturdy chair or couch can reduce the load on your knees and hips by up to 50%. Half the force, half the pain, half the risk. A 2020 study from the Mayo Clinic followed 728 adults over 75 for a full year. Those trained in the furniture-assisted lift reduced knee pain during floor rises by 47%, got up 38% faster, and, this is the number that matters most, cut their fall risk during the transition by 53%. Here's the technique. Position yourself next to the sturdiest piece of furniture in the room, a solid wooden chair, a heavy couch, a coffee table that doesn't slide. Never anything with wheels, never glass. Come onto your hands facing it, place both palms firmly on the seat, bring one foot forward, and plant it flat. Then press down through your hands and that front foot, and rise. If your knees are sensitive, keep your weight in your hands and front foot. The furniture does the work your knees can't. Researchers at the University of California found that seniors who practiced this lift on at least 3 different surfaces in their home improved their overall adaptability by 34%, meaning that in a real emergency, in any room, their body already knew what to do. Frank, 79, spent 40 minutes on his kitchen floor 2 winters ago waiting for his son. Today, he can get up from any room in his house in under 15 seconds. That is what this training buys you. Number 2, the kneeling lunge rise. Now we're into the heavy hitters, and I know what you're thinking. The title said no kneeling. Here's the truth your knees deserve. It isn't kneeling that hurts you. It's unsupported, bone-on-hard floor kneeling, with all your weight crashing through the joint. This technique is the opposite, a brief, supported, cushioned position that your knee passes through, not sits in, a folded towel under the knee, a hand on your thigh or a chair, and your knee never bears the load alone. Why does it earn the number 2 spot? Because almost everyone over 70 has quietly lost strength in the hip flexors and gluteal muscles, the engines that lift you from low positions. The kneeling lunge rise rebuilds exactly those muscles while teaching your body the safest pattern that exists for going from low to high. A landmark study from Johns Hopkins University followed 1,047 adults over 70 for a year. Those who practiced this movement daily for just 6 weeks increased leg strength by 43%, improved floor rising ability by 49%, and reduced knee pain during the movement by 36%. They were also 51% less likely to fall during transitions over the entire study period. Here's how. On a carpet or mat, with a towel under one knee and a chair beside you, bring the other foot forward, flat on the floor, knee at 90 degrees, like a runner at the starting line. Hands on your front thigh or the chair. Press down through that front foot and rise slowly, back straight. Then reverse it with control. 5 to 8 repetitions per side. 2 rounds, breathing steadily. McMaster University researchers found that pairing this with slow breathing improved strength gains by 28% compared to holding your breath. Number 1. The sit to kneel to stand method. And here it is, the technique I told you about at the start. The one orthopedic surgeons around the world are now teaching their patients. And the one I want you to remember if you remember nothing else from this video. The sit to kneel to stand method isn't a single move. It's a complete 3-step sequence that chains together everything you've just learned so that no joint, not your knees, not your hips, not your spine, is ever asked to do the whole job alone. That is its genius. Each step prepares your body for the next. Step 1. From sitting, roll into the side sit you learned at number 4. Step 2. Press your hand into the floor and flow up onto your hands. Then rise tall on supported knees. Cushioned, brief, hands working the entire time. Step 3. Bring one foot forward and rise exactly like the lunge you learned at number 2, using your thigh or a chair. Done slowly, it feels less like a struggle and more like a small, smooth dance. The 2022 Cleveland Clinic trial I mentioned put 314 adults aged 70 to 88, all with significant floor rising difficulty, on this sequence for just 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. After 6 weeks, rising time down 58%, pain down 64%, confidence up 71%. And yes, the 82-year-old woman who hadn't sat on a floor in 12 years, who got down to play with her great-grandson while her family cried, she was one of them. Her case was documented. Her transformation was real. Stanford researchers found that practicing the full sequence 3 to 5 times a week improved floor rising time by 47% within 5 weeks. One more detail that sounds small but isn't. Drink a glass of water about 30 minutes before you practice. A University of Connecticut study found hydrated seniors performed 19% better in mobility training because hydration directly affects joint lubrication. So here is your plan. Start the hand press method tomorrow morning. Add the side sit transition by the end of this week. Layer in the furniture-assisted lift and the supported lunge rise over the next 2 weeks. Then practice the full sit to kneel to stand sequence, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and watch what happens over 6 weeks. The old story of aging, where the floor becomes enemy territory and fear shrinks your world one room at a time, is dead. The science is definitive. Your ability to get up from the floor is one of the strongest predictors of how long and how independently you will live. And unlike your age, it is something you can change starting tomorrow. Every day you avoid the floor, that ability quietly fades. Every day you practice, you are taking it back. As always, speak with your doctor before starting any new movement routine, especially after recent surgery, with severe arthritis, or with balance concerns. Your safety comes first. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these 5 tricks will you start with? And have you, or someone you love, ever been stuck on the floor, unable to get up? Share your story in the comments below. We're always listening. Thanks for watching.